Hey everyone, I'm Suede Wanamaker, and welcome to Cinematic Vault. This is a space for cinematic storytelling, fan-made, reimagined, and brought to life visuals and narration. Every project you see here was carefully written, built around emotion, myth, and meaning. Today we are going over the seventh story in the Godzilla Cinematic Universe. Now sit back and let the vault open. A story of spectacle and soul, wrath and restraint, and the burden of kings. This is Kong vs. Godzilla Clash of Kings, a fan-made film story written by Suede Wanamaker, realized with AI visuals and AI narration.
In the heart of Skull Island, where jungle mist clings to ancient trees, a lone king walks. Kong, older now, scarred but revered, moves through his domain like a god through a forgotten temple. The islanders still chant his name beneath torchlit skies, and he watches them from a distance, solemn, ever vigilant. But something stirs beneath the roots of the world. Horizon, the global coalition formed in the wake of Biollante and Mothra, has built an outpost near the island's cliffs. Here, Royce Hayes, a man once hailed as a hero, arrives with tired eyes and a reluctant heart. He was brought back not as a soldier, but as an interpreter of monsters. Kong turns toward the sea, sensing something wrong. A tremor in the waves, a pull in the earth. And far off, above the clouds, the first helicopters return to the island skies. Thousands of miles away, in the black depths of the Pacific Trench, Horizon runs a test. A sonic device pulsing with frequencies derived from Godzilla's own DNA date. It deployed near a dormant thermal pocket. They call it deterrence. But in the dark, something ancient awakens. Godzilla, hidden in hibernation since the Biollante event, rises in fury. The sound pierces him, not a call, but an insult. A mimicry of nature turned against him. The ocean shatters around him. He heads for Tokyo, his target. A newly constructed fusion power facility, one forged from technology using Gajira's remains. To humanity, it is a beacon of progress. To Godzilla, it is a virus in the soil. He strikes. Panic spreads through Japan. The world watches with clenched jaws as flames rise. Military leaders scramble. Cities brace for annihilation. Inside Horizon's sleek glass towers, a plan takes shape, not one born of wisdom, but of ambition. They will pit one titan against another. Talia, the powerful and enigmatic architect behind Horizon's expansion, sees opportunity in disaster. She proposes a solution and a show. Let the world witness balance restored, she says. Let them believe in something again. Kong is shown images of Skull Island engulfed in flames fabricated by Horizon's engineers. His pulse spikes, his eyes darken. He roars, they sedate him. The last king of the wild is caged and carried across the sea. At the base of Mount Fuji, Godzilla arrives, his breath still smoldering, his body pulsing with fury. The land trembles. From above, the sky splits open. Kong falls from the heavens, chained, groggy, betrayed. But when his eyes lock on Godzilla, they widen not with fear, but understanding. This is no creature of balance. This is judgment incarnate. They clash. Kong moves with speed and fury, using the terrain to his advantage, hurling boulders, dodging tail strikes, scaling ridges. Godzilla responds with elemental wrath atomic breath, carving craters into stone. Tail slams shaking valleys, roars echoing for miles. Kong is nearly consumed in blue fire. He rises, battered but unbroken. Tokyo begins to fall not by claws, but by consequence. Buildings collapse under shockwaves. Fires rage uncontrolled. The people flee. Steve Martin and Yumi Takahashi, now seasoned partners in survival work, to aid evacuations. They document, not for spectacle, but for memory. Royce watches Kong fight and remembers who he used to be. Meanwhile, the truth behind Horizon leaks. Talia's broadcasts were never about unity, they were about control. Ratings, fear, power. Sora Masaki, an ethicist among liars, breaks ranks. She begins something new. Project Crownless, a movement not to dominate Caillou but to coexist. On Mount Fuji's upper ridge, the kings face one another for a final time. Kong, scorched and bleeding, grips a broken tower like a spear, but he does not strike. Instead, he drives the weapon into the ground between them, defiant but restrained. Godzilla stares. The glow within him pulses, dimming. He recognizes it restraint, not weakness, but wisdom. And without a word, the king of monsters turns and returns to the sea. Ash drifts across Mount Fuji like snow. Kong disappears into the rising mist, a silhouette fading with the dawn. Talia is removed from Horizon, her empire, built on manipulation, now crumbling. Sora takes leadership of Crownless. The era of domination ends. A new philosophy begins. At the mountain's edge, where smoke meets sunrise, Steve Martin and Yumi Takahashi stand quietly. They have faced gods and ghosts, watched legends bleed, and now there is peace. The sun crests the horizon. Wind stirs petals and ash across the rocks. Steve reaches into his jacket, pulling out a soot-covered ring box. Yumi turns to him, her eyes wide, her breath still fogging in the cold air. No words, just hearts full of battles survived. He kneels and asks. She kneels with him and says yes. They kiss soft, real, exhausted. Above them, the clouds part. Below them, the world begins to breathe again. Nearby, standing at a burned overlook, Royce Hayes watches it all unfold. He holds a folded discharge paper in one hand. His past. But as he watches the sunrise and remembers the fight, he finds clarity. Monsters protect us, but only if we protect them. He turns slowly, quietly, and walks toward the military transport zone, not to escape the battle, but to return to it. No victor, no crown, just two forces of nature, forged in different fires, shaped by different pain. Kong, the spirit of the wild, Godzilla, the judgment of the deep. They did not fight for dominance. They fought to remind us who we are and who we must become. As the winds howl across Mount Fuji, a new age begins, not ruled by kings, but watched over by them. Kong versus Godzilla, Clash of the Kings, the battle that shook the world and silenced the throne. If you enjoyed this journey into forgotten legends and untold worlds, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for stepping into the vault where every story leaves a mark.